You spend your afternoon in isolation as you've always been surrounded by your own filth, thoughts, and work. It isn't exactly the healthiest lifestyle, but what does it matter? Nothing matters. As long as you can eke out a meager but sufficient livelihood from your books, you'll be fine. However, today isn't like the others, as your isolation has now seemingly come to a halt. You're visited by a mysterious woman who clearly feels she belongs here and tells you she will now be living with you. Stranger even is that another one arrives, and another, until you have 5 women in your home who all share the same reason for being here. They hand you a 1,000,000 yen and say they were invited to live here, but they have one unbreakable rule: you cannot ask them about their lives. This is Million Yen Women, and you are Shin Michima. Million Yen Women is a Japanese TV series produced by Netflix and TV Tokyo. Well, actually, it was first a manga written by Shunju Aono, serialized in Shogakukan's weekly Big Comic Spirits. The manga is basically the same thing, but with some slight variations. But this video isn't about the manga, it's about its weird and wonderful adaptation. Million Yen Women follows 31-year-old struggling novelist Shin Michima. He's a gloomy, jaded, and kinda odd-looking recluse who stays indoors and writes as much as he can when he isn't doing some of his occasional extracurricular activities. Right from the first episode, it's clear that Shin is odd, but not in the obvious ways I just mentioned. Clearly, something has led him to this lifestyle. Why he's perpetually alone, why he's uninterested in anything but his books, and why he's so antisocial. Though the reason is revealed very quickly at the end of the first episode. His father murdered his mother when he found her cheating on him. This revelation is a small but important part of the series that blends into the larger, more unsettling but interesting picture. What isn't as quickly revealed, however, are the several mysteries that are part of said picture. The obvious questions, of course, are who these women are and who exactly sent them. Why are they so flush with cash? And why is she naked? All of these questions are presented right from the start, along with several malicious undertones, subtle clues, and messages that are entwined to the overarching narrative. And the big question: what exactly is going on here? The question is answered eventually, as we get to learn about who exactly these characters are and what makes them tick. And boy do they tick. There's Minami Shirakawa, the mysterious 30-year-old nudist and call girl club president with the most attitude in the house. She'll tease you in many ways, kick your ass, and then proceed to lecture you about how it's your fault. There's also Hitomi Tsukamoto, daughter of a renowned novelist who clearly has a thing for Shin and knows her stuff when it comes to literature. Yuki Kobayashi is as gloomy as Shin, yet still seems to have some interest in him, and like him, seems to have her own share of mysteries. Nanaka Hiraki is a cheerful and famous actress who somehow finds herself in this house of weirdos. She's definitely among the most notable girls, as she wears her heart on her sleeve and is fun, cutesy, and carefree. Honestly hard to hate. Finally, we have 17-year-old orphan Midori Suzumura, who is perhaps the most interesting, not because of her personality, which is basically what you'd expect from a teenager, but for her backstory. Oh, and there's also Sakurai, Shin's editor and basically the closest thing to a friend he has. He's seemingly the most normal person you see interacting with the others. He's just okay, but he's understandably jealous of Shin's new living situation. As the episodes progress, we start learning more about these ladies, all their quirky and almost textbook tropey personalities, their secrets, backstories, and with those revelations, it's hard not to grow a fondness for them and their subtle bond with each other. Eventually, you even start to see some potential romance brewing, because why wouldn't all these cute girls fall in love with a weird loner dude? It's only natural, and as such, you may find yourself picking out your favorite girl and who you want Shin to be with. Of course, if you have any taste, you will choose Nanaka, who's clearly the best option, followed only by Minami, just not the minor for obvious reasons. You also get to see how, for the most part, they live their daily lives, and by extension, the intricacies of Japanese culture and the regular habits, environments, and activities that come with. The series also gives viewers a glimpse into the nature of authorship in Japan and how it works, along with the subtle drama and inflated egos among the authors. Despite its subtlety, the way it shows the country's everyday aspects is one of my favorite parts of the show. Drama and murder aside, especially since this is an aspect only live-action shows and adaptations do excellently. You can't get this quite the same way with anime or manga. But what truly makes Million Yen Women captivating is the mystery behind it all. Who is the figure in the shadows manipulating and orchestrating everything? What truly are the intentions of these girls, and why would they willingly choose to participate in such a strange arrangement? And as events unravel and the truth unveils, so does the mystery behind all the symbolism. Stakes and tensions rise, questions are answered, and the real malignance reveals itself. And for the most part, it's all pretty darn satisfying. Some scenes will have you think, damn, that just happened. And these moments are why I still remember this show so fondly even years later. Though I will add that not everything is great about this series. The ending is a particular point of contention among viewers, and personally, I found some aspects of it a bit disappointing. Some stories end on a happy note, while others will have you wanting for more, as some characters and their stories clearly weren't given the time they deserve to be fully fleshed out. That said, this shouldn't dissuade you from checking out Million Yen Women. Questionable narrative elements aside, the journey is a lot more memorable than the destination. Because if you weren't, I wouldn't be making this video. It also helps that the series has impeccable production quality. Well, as best as you can hope for a live-action adaptation, at least. The framing, direction, intense close-ups, and impeccable soundtrack all blend wonderfully to create a memorable cinematic experience. Still, my personal favorite part of Million Yen Women is just how it's unabashedly odd in the way it's executed as a mystery thriller series. That oddity is what stands out, slaps you in the face, and sets it apart from some of the most weird Japanese shows I've personally seen. It's not just bizarre to be bizarre either, as there's a method to its madness, and that madness is oh so sweet.